Hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Star Wars Vault. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for new Star Wars content every week.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I've got a new What If video for you. This one was suggested from a member of the community, and I'm thrilled to get the chance to do this some justice. Let's get started, shall we? What if Shmi Skywalker was a Jedi? We begin this story on Tatooine. A slave woman gives birth to a son in miraculous fashion. The woman was stunned by how this could happen. She knew there was no father, at least not one in the form of an organic being. Still, she felt that this creation of life was no accident. The woman could sense that something greater was at work. She had great instincts with many things throughout her life, despite the unfortunate situation of being a slave in which she had no control of. But now, after giving birth to a fatherless child, she had gained even greater insight to the universe around her. Most importantly, the bond that was established right away with her son was something that seemed to be a superpower. The woman sensed this baby of hers would be a major key in unlocking their freedom in the future. This woman is Shmi Skywalker. She decides to give her son the name Anakin. Over the next 9 years, mother and son build their limited life together on the sand planet. While the boy was extremely young, his mother could see how intelligent he was becoming. Both of them worked for the slave owner, Watto. Anakin had grown an interest in technology, engineering, and mechanics. He proved to be very impressive at building robots and other technological assets that would help assist his mother with housework. One thing Shmi wished Anakin wasn't interested in was pod racing. Her heart drops every time she has to watch him racing at such high speeds. She felt that she had no choice but to always prepare him for the worst scenarios. Shmi knew that her son had great potential at anything he would choose to work at, and with that comes the inevitable risks that he is willing to take in order to accomplish his goals. Less than a decade into his life, Anakin already knew how competent he was. There has always been a great confidence from within. The boy even started to have big dreams, such as becoming a Jedi Knight. On rare occasions throughout the years, he had spotted a robed individual who was in possession of a laser sword, and from time to time, he would overhear conversations from the locals. They would describe these Jedi Knights in detail, especially about how powerful they were. Anakin and Shmi learned about the Force, which is what gives the Jedi their power. "One day, Mom, we are going to get out of this place. I want to be a Jedi. I want to free all of the slaves," Anakin tells Shmi. "You are such a wonderful person, Anakin. All you want to do is help others. So selfless. Maybe one day your dream will come true." "I sense it may be soon," Shmi replies with a grin. Only a few months later, a tall man enters Watto's shop. He had a presence so strong that Anakin noticed him right away. The man introduced himself as Qui-Gon Jinn. He was here in need of new ship parts, as his cruiser needed to crash land a few miles away. After no luck negotiating with Watto, Anakin advised Qui-Gon to come back to his home with him as he sensed a sandstorm coming. It is here where Qui-Gon meets the boy's mother. They both feel a warmth at first sight of each other. Shmi Skywalker is delighted to meet a man that reminds her of the connection she felt with Anakin when he was born. Was this a sign of some sort? She thought to herself. They all have dinner as Qui-Gon explains his lack of options to fly off of Tatooine in order to get back to Coruscant. Both Anakin and Shmi suggest with their help they can get him the ship parts that he needs. At first, Anakin believed he could win the parts back for Qui-Gon in the upcoming pod race. Shmi had another idea that didn't involve her son risking his life. She could sense an aura on this Qui-Gon Jinn. Shmi asked him straight up if he was a Jedi from the Republic. At first, he didn't want to admit it, but Qui-Gon could sense there was no fooling these two. They had heard of the Jedi, and for some reason, both the child and the mother seemed to have Jedi traits, especially Anakin. When Qui-Gon told Shmi he was in fact a Jedi, she mapped out a plan for him. Shmi mentioned how her and Anakin had slave tracking transmitters implanted in their bodies. These were designed to detonate a slave if they had gone off-world or too far from the slave owner. Shmi made clear that they wanted to get off of this planet and start a real life without being enslaved. She believed if Qui-Gon asserted himself, he could convince Watto to give him the parts he needs and to have the slave chips removed. This, of course, would involve a heavy dose of intimidation, as Shmi figured the threat of a lightsaber would be very convincing. Qui-Gon understood this plan had a dark side influence, but chose to go along with it. He has learned throughout his time to follow the will of the Force. In this current situation, there's a lot of things going on. He has warm feelings for this slave woman he has just met. Qui-Gon also senses there's something about her son, something significant. On top of all this, he is seemingly trapped on this outer rim planet and needs to find a way off. The Jedi asks Shmi in private who the boy's father is. She tells him there was no father, that she can't explain what happened. This stuns Qui-Gon. Now he is starting to think that Anakin is the chosen one. A virgins in the Force connects to the ancient prophecy of the Jedi. Qui-Gon has now become certain in what he has to do. The Jedi Master draws his lightsaber on Watto in his shop. He threatens to kill him if he doesn't deactivate and remove the Skywalker's slave chips. Once Watto has freed Anakin and Shmi of their detonators, Qui-Gon forces Watto to give him the parts he needs to fly off Tatooine. While Watto was hesitant and even defiant to fulfill the Jedi's demands, Qui-Gon ultimately got his parts after holding his lightsaber an inch away from the toy Darian's neck. Watto couldn't move his body, as Qui-Gon used the Force to show his power by holding him still. The slave owner was angry that he lost so much just like that, but at least he could walk away with his life. Now, Master Jin and the Skywalkers get ready to fly away after installing the new parts onto the cruiser. It is in the ship where the two former slaves meet Padme and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Immediately, Obi-Wan could sense the Force in these two individuals. Anakin developed an interest for Padme after meeting her. All he could think of was how beautiful and how smart she is. As the ship flew back to Coruscant, Qui-Gon had great conversation with Shmi as the two grow a connection together. Qui-Gon makes it known that he wishes to train both Shmi and Anakin to become a Jedi. The Skywalkers are elated. They each felt a calling in their hearts to do this. Shmi admired how Qui-Gon was able to free them, and was open to anything in this new journey. Obi-Wan told Qui-Gon this might not go over well with the Jedi, despite Qui-Gon being on the High Council. The Master Jedi was not worried, as he believed this was inevitable. Once they all arrive at the capital of the galaxy, the Skywalkers meet Senator Palpatine briefly. Palpatine could sense how powerful this mother and child were. He thought to himself how this can help achieve his secret agendas as he walks away. Qui-Gon brings the Skywalkers before the Jedi Council. After explaining everything, the Council was reluctant in having them trained. However, they ultimately allowed it, thanks to Qui-Gon's immense influence as a senior member of the Jedi Council. Master Yoda did state that Qui-Gon could not train both, as a Jedi can only have one apprentice at a time. Luckily for him, his former apprentice Obi-Wan had recently become a Jedi Knight after passing his trials. This meant Qui-Gon could train Shmi, while Obi-Wan would train Anakin. Meanwhile, the Senate is urging Supreme Chancellor Valorum to deal with the Trade Federation's blockade over the Naboo system. Senator Palpatine convinces Queen Amidala to call for a vote of no confidence in Valorum, due to his inability to act in response to the invasion. Both the Queen and the Senator are from Naboo and are able to gain sympathy from the rest of the Galactic Senate. As an election is about to be underway for the position of Chancellor, Palpatine is nominated to succeed Valorum. Queen Amidala fears for her planet and pushes to return to Naboo in hopes of ending the dispute. Governor Bibble, who was held captive on Naboo, informs her via hologram message of a dark figure who threatened him with a red lightsaber. Both her and Palpatine tell the Jedi Council of this discovery, leading the Jedi to send Master Mace Windu to draw out the potential Sith. Windu would escort the Queen and her entourage to Naboo. Once they arrive, Jar Jar Binks helps the Queen to convince the Gungans to fight with him against the Trade Federation. The Battle of Naboo had begun. The Gungans fight the massive droid army outside while the Queen leads her entourage into Theed Palace. The Queen, now revealing herself as the handmaiden Padme after showing the Gungans her decoy, infiltrates the palace from outer walls. Padme, her captain, and other loyalists are stopped in their tracks as the mysterious Darth Maul enters. Mace Windu tells Padme and the others to go after Nute Gunray, claiming he will take care of this. He first sends a voice message to the Jedi Council, confirming the Sith have returned. He immediately engages in lightsaber combat with Maul, who is bloodthirsty to kill a Jedi. An incredibly skilled duel occurs between the two, Windu's purple blade clashing over and over again with Maul's double-edged red lightsaber. Acrobatics are displayed. A sense of rhythm is apparent as both fighters use different variations of Form 7 against each other. Windu and Maul both showed a level of speed, strength, and aggression. After a few minutes of intense battle, the Jedi Master started to get the upper hand on the Sith warrior. As Darth Maul is about to be cornered, a hooded figure appears out of nowhere and stabs Mace Windu through the back, killing him. It was a tall figure, wielding a curved red lightsaber. Maul was shocked to be rescued by what appeared to be another Sith that he was unaware of. The figure removed his hood, revealing to be the former Jedi Master, Count Dooku. "Come, Maul, we have much to do," he says, as the two Sith eventually capture Padme and force her to sign the treaty that makes the Trade Federation's presence on Naboo legal. The Battle of Naboo is lost. Word gets out quickly as the election for Chancellor concludes. Senator Palpatine wins in a landslide after the disaster on his home planet influenced senators to vote for the native in order to resolve the Naboo crisis immediately. Darth Sidious winning the Battle of Naboo only leveraged his public persona tenfold to become the new Supreme Chancellor. With the help of the Jedi Council, the Republic is able to win back Naboo eventually. They used Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Plo Koon to overwhelm the Trade Federation's hold over the planet. Also, the Skywalkers helped Naboo's officers to lead an attack on the droid control ship that hovered over Naboo. Shmi and Anakin flew in a Naboo cruiser, using their instincts to destroy the entire ship by shooting torpedoes at the starboard main reactor. Mother and son fly out of the ship as they avoid the ever-growing explosion. This makes the entire droid army null and void, as the Republic finally celebrates the freeing of Naboo. Another 9 years goes by as Chancellor Palpatine remains in office due to the constant dispute between the Trade Federation and the Republic. Only now, thousands of systems have joined the Federation in plans to secede from the Republic. A galactic war was looming. The Jedi felt powerless. They now have two esteemed members in their order. Shmi Skywalker was now a Jedi Knight in her own right. After coming to the Order as an adult and being trained by Qui-Gon Jinn, Shmi had become a very powerful and wise Jedi. She wields a green lightsaber to match her master and now husband. The two were married shortly after Shmi was knighted. The Jedi Council had some issues with this at first, but after Mace Windu's death, Qui-Gon Jinn was second in the order only to Grand Master Yoda. Shmi's son, Anakin, had also just passed his trials and become a Jedi Knight at 18 years old. The young man praises his master Obi-Wan for teaching him everything he knew. While Qui-Gon didn't directly train Anakin, he still watched over him regularly and had a father-like relationship with him. Anakin is also now in a relationship with Padme Amidala. After working as security for her the previous year due to her being a target of the Trade Federation, Master Qui-Gon Jinn was constantly stressed despite being happily married to Shmi. He felt an eeriness of the Chancellor, who has tried to ingratiate himself with the Skywalkers. Qui-Gon could sense Palpatine had a strange interest in their power. On top of this, The Jedi Council couldn't get their hands on the mysterious Darth Maul who killed Mace Windu. The Sith being present in the galaxy was unsettling for the Jedi. Eventually, Qui-Gon went to a secret hangar on Coruscant to meet with his old master Count Dooku, who in confidence tells Qui-Gon about Darth Sidious. "I can't believe this, Dooku. How do you know this?" Qui-Gon asked. "My friend, it is all a setup. The Jedi Order is too corrupt now. So is the Republic. Sidious influences the Senate, and the Jedi Council does the bidding of the Chancellor, does it not? You must join me, my old apprentice. Together, we can destroy the Sith," Dooku answered. Qui-Gon sensed that Dooku wasn't telling the full story. He declined, then questioned what happened to Maul after Mace Windu was killed. Dooku was hesitant to answer, which made Qui-Gon believe that his old master was conspiring with the Sith. He didn't like the feeling he was getting and attempted to leave so he could inform the Jedi. However, Dooku panicked and shocked his former Padawan with Force Lightning, incapacitating him. Both Anakin and his mother Shmi sensed Qui-Gon was in danger. Anakin asked Obi-Wan to look after Padme to make sure no threat is made on her life, to which the Jedi Master accepts. Anakin and Shmi meditate together to find where Qui-Gon could be. Their instincts take them to a place they've never been. The Skywalkers arrive at the hangar to find Qui-Gon shackled with Count Dooku standing by. They ignite their lightsabers and begin fighting Dooku. The 2-on-1 duel only lasts for a minute, as the Sith warrior Darth Maul jumps out to even the odds. As Anakin and Shmi fight Maul and Dooku, Qui-Gon uses the Force to pull Anakin's telecommunication device in order to call for backup. Master Yoda begins to make his way to their location in hopes of stopping the Sith. Well before Yoda can get to the hangar, another sinister cloaked figure appears and unleashes his unforgiving dark side power on the Jedi. The fight halts as Anakin, Shmi, and Qui-Gon are paralyzed from Force Lightning even more powerful than Dooku's. It was Darth Sidious, the Sith Master Qui-Gon was just told about, right before he fell into Count Dooku's trap. It is here where Darth Sidious reveals his true plot. "Qui-Gon Jinn, you are the only Jedi to think critically. I could sense you were onto me, onto us, the Sith. This is because you aren't like the other Jedi. You don't succumb to stagnation. You refuse to be passive. You take action. Powerful you may be, but not that powerful. These Skywalkers are impossible to ignore. They would serve greatly in my Sith Order. For over a millennium, the Sith survived in secret with the rule of two. But now that I'm the Master, much change is required. I cannot allow Jedi that would be tide turners. They must join me or die. Your Master, Lord Tyrannus, believes you could be useful as well. I, however, am not so sure. Your intuition is to be respected, but my senses tell me even if I killed your wife, you would not embrace the dark side fully. To me, you're a greater threat alive. Your fate is at its end," Sidious says as he begins to shoot Force Lightning intending to kill Qui-Gon. Right before the bolts are about to strike him, a green lightsaber interferes and directs it back at Sidious. "How sweet of you to defend your husband, Shmi. Perhaps I should turn all three of you to the dark side. Bring in the whole family, yes? Or, if you prove to be as defiant as Qui-Gon, I will take your son, Anakin, only. After all, he is what I want most. You are powerful, but he is the only one who might be more powerful than myself. What will it be? Join us or die?" Sidious yells. "No, I will not be intimidated. You will not win. Anakin won't turn, and it will be you who dies," Shmi screams back. As Sidious gets ready to attack, Master Yoda arrives at the scene. He uses the Force to remove Qui-Gon's chains. Anakin wakes up from being struck by Sidious's lightning earlier. The 4 Jedi get in position as they all have their lightsabers ignited. Sidious snarls as he, Dooku, and Maul begin to engage in a super battle with the Jedi, 4 on 3. Anakin and Shmi double-team Darth Maul, while Yoda fights his old apprentice Dooku, and Qui-Gon Jinn duels Darth Sidious. The strategy started to work in the Jedi's favor, as the Skywalkers were able to chop Maul down. The son of Dathomir was overwhelmed and ultimately, now dead. They jump over to assist Qui-Gon in fighting Sidious. While the 3-on-1 was difficult for the Sith Master, Darth Sidious was able to hold off all 3 Jedi for quite some time. The duel between Dooku and Yoda favored the latter as the fighting went on. Eventually, Yoda is able to kill the traitor by stabbing his former Padawan in the neck while jumping in midair. The Count falls to the ground lifeless. Sidious is now surrounded by the 4 powerful Jedi. He moves quickly to strike Anakin, seeing him as the greatest threat. The Dark Lord only hopes to kill his true rival so that he may have a real chance at killing the other 3 Jedi. But it wasn't enough. Anakin was able to defend Sidious long enough before Yoda, Shmi, and Qui-Gon stepped in to share the load. This allows Anakin to pick the best opportunity to strike, while Sidious defends his other opponents. Anakin successfully pierces his lightsaber through the Sith Lord's chest, stabbing Sidious's heart and killing him. The Jedi take a moment to process everything that just transpired. Qui-Gon and Yoda have feelings of sadness over what Count Dooku had become, a friend to both of them, lost to corruption. Shmi hugs her son, as the 2 Skywalkers can feel a weight lifted after the demise of the Sith. They all return to update the Senate and the Jedi Order. The galaxy was shocked to learn the truth. It was quickly discovered that Chancellor Palpatine was the secret Sith Lord terrorist after the Supreme Leader was nowhere to be found. Much digging was done on all of his records, including financially. Several traces led to the separatist movement being orchestrated by a mysterious benefactor. It turns out that the leader of the Republic and the secret leader of the Trade Federation were one and the same. Chancellor Palpatine was Darth Sidious. After the separatist leaders were arrested, an election takes place. In a massive surprise, Senator Padme Amidala was voted in as the youngest Supreme Chancellor in galactic history. She soon marries the youngest Jedi Master of all time, Anakin Skywalker, who was declared the chosen one for his efforts in destroying the Sith. Master Yoda serves as Grand Master for another year, then steps down as he appoints Qui-Gon Jinn as the new Grand Master of the Jedi Order. Qui-Gon leads the Jedi Order into a new era, one that is much different than before, as it centers around family bonds and the power of love. His wife, Shmi, was granted the rank of Master. Anakin and Padme go on to have 4 children, who also, of course, happen to be Qui-Gon and Shmi's grandchildren. And that is what would happen if Shmi Skywalker was a Jedi. I had a lot of fun making this one for you guys, especially since we get to see not 1, but 2 Master Skywalkers in this story. I want to say thank you to the person who requested for me to do this fanfiction, as it truly was a blast. And now I want to know what you all thought of this. Did you enjoy this What If? What stories would you like me to make next? Whatever your opinions are, make sure to comment down below. Also, don't forget to force push the like button if you enjoyed today's video. I greatly appreciate it. I'll be back real soon with a new What If, so until then, my friends, may the Force be with you.